All right, since Iran's unprecedented and direct assault on Israel over the weekend, Israel's war cabinet has been considering how to answer. Even as diplomats, including those from the Biden administration, encourage a tempered response. I mean, when your very existence is on the line, how do you have a tempered response? I think you need to have a strategic and a deliberate response. Now, Iranian officials continue to warn that their country will forcefully respond to any counterattack. So what options are on the table for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his war cabinet? And what does this say about America's support for Israel under the present administration? Well, joining me now in studio to discuss this is a member of the Knesset for the Religious Zionist Party, Ohad Tal. He is, in fact, a good friend. I was with him in Israel about a little over 3 weeks ago. Mr. Tal, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you very much for having me, Tony.
So we were together. Actually, I was in your home territory just a few weeks ago in Samaria and Judea, the biblical heartland of Israel, which, by the way, is part of the land that, under a two-state solution, would be given away. Right. Which is, frankly, impractical.
Craziness.
It is crazy. And we talked about that, actually, last time you were on the program. You sat in that seat, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago. Let's talk about what's the current status in Israel as it pertains to this threat from Iran, this attack by Iran, and a potential response from Israel.
Well, you've said correctly that 2.5 days ago, Iran decided to do something of unprecedented. Usually, they're using their proxies in order to attack their rivals. We know that they are the biggest sponsors and supporters of Hezbollah in Lebanon. They are the biggest supporters of the Houthis in Yemen. They are the supporters, of course, of Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza and in Judea and Samaria. But this time they did something different. They decided to directly attack Israel. They shot over 300 missiles, ballistic missiles, drones into Israel. This is something of unprecedented. And they did it because they felt that they can, and that Israel is weak enough, and that they are strong enough. And what made them feel that? I believe that because they looked at what is happening between the current administration and Israel. When they see that the American president is busy with imposing personal sanctions against Israeli citizens like myself, who lives in Judea and Samaria, because as if we are the problem and we are the people who are threatening the peace of the world instead of Hamas and Iran, then something is not working well. So they're asking themselves what is going on. And we also, to be honest, also asking ourselves, what is going on? What is happening to America? What is happening to the relation between Israel and America?
I mean, I've actually made that point from a standpoint of the United States, the Biden administration. I'd say I want to be very clear between the United States and the Biden administration, because the Biden administration does not represent all the United States. I know he is our president, but he does not reflect the views of, I believe, a majority of Americans.
I agree with you. I think the vast majority of Americans, as I know them, do not accept these policies. We all know Genesis 12:3, right? I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curses you. But again, to be honest, according to the steps that the administration is doing in recent weeks and months, we are asking ourselves whether the administration is blessing Israel or, God forbid, the opposite, is cursing Israel. Because when they impose the two-state solution supposedly solution on Israel, after October 7th, it's basically telling the terrorists of Hamas, you want to achieve your goals? Keep doing what you're doing. Keep using terror. That will be the right path to go. That sends a horrible message in the Middle East.
Well, it's problematic on two fronts. One, it does reward bad behavior, horrible behavior. But secondly, it would put Israel in an indefensible position if you give away the heart of. It essentially divides Israel between North and South.
You're right. I must tell you, Israel is a country that desires peace more than anything. For 30 years, we're doing everything we can to achieve peace. Some of the leaders were willing to even give parts of our land to the Palestinians in the hope that that will bring peace.
That happened in Gaza.
Right.
Didn't happen.
Exactly. In 2005, we gave Gaza Strip all to the Palestinians.
And what have they done with the resources that have been given to them from the international community?
All went to terror, not to build resorts, not to invest it in education, only in terror. So what the American administration is now suggesting is to give the heart of our land, Judea and Samaria, Jericho and Hebron and Shiloh and all these places to the Palestinians in order to establish another terror state at the heart of Israel, just a few kilometers from Tel Aviv, from Ben Gurion Airport, from Jerusalem. Does that make any sense?
Is Israel's future on the line here, as you see it?
You know, we don't like to talk about it a lot, but the truth is, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, because when you are weak in the Middle East, that's an existential threat.
So this is not just another skirmish that we've seen over the last 75 years.
No, I think for the first time, Israel is really in a difficult situation, trying to defend itself against, we are fighting now 7 fronts. We are fighting in Gaza, we are fighting in Lebanon, we are fighting in Syria, we are fighting in Iraq, we are fighting with the Houthis, we are fighting in Judea and Samaria. We are fighting 7 fronts. We are strong. I've heard from the former ambassador to Washington, Ron Dermer. He said that as ambassador, he met a lot of ambassadors from all over the world, but he never met the ambassador of the Empire of Persia. And he never met the ambassador of the Roman Empire. All those superpowers who try to destroy us and put us on a risk, they're not exist anymore.
Yeah.
We're still here.
I also think those who take a pass on standing with Israel, their future is in question as well. I believe this is a time that the United States must stand clearly with Israel.
Thank you very much for saying that. I think it's important, and we really hope to see America's changing, and we hope to see the policies of America's changing.
MK Tal, I want to thank you for taking time to join us today. Always great to see you, my friend.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.